Hello, my friends. I received a phone call last night. There was a beehive or a swarm that was in the middle of town. So that night I prepared getting things ready to capture the bees. I loaded up a top bar beehive in the back of my truck with the intent of clipping the branch that the bees were on and just setting that swarm on the branch right inside the top bar beehive. Well, I setting up and checking out the hive and seeing if that's possible to do. The sun still hasn't come up yet. It's a little chilly. It was 46 degrees this morning and the bees are very docile. So it should be pretty easy to capture them. Right here I'm misting the bees with sugar water. I'm going to lop off some of the small branches that are in the way, and my intent is to try to just clip the end of the branch holding the swarm and just carry the swarm down and place it into my beehive. But it's not going to work. What I'm going to try here is my latest innovation. I kind of named it after myself. I call it the PORTA CHUTE. And what it is, it's a long cylinder. It's the same plastic that black plastic trash bags are made out of. And I got a roll of this stuff before it's pressed into trash bags. I went right to the company and got a roll of it. And I cut the length of it to about 7-8 foot long and fastened it to the box. Now here I'm just wrapping the open end around the swarm, and I'm going to give it a good shake. And the first 1 or 2 shakes, just about all the bees are already in the chute and down into the box. And these additional shakes, there's still a few bees clinging. I'm trying to get as many as I can. And it worked very slick. Real pleased with it. What I'm going to do next is just keep shaking and narrowing this the top part of the bag so that the bees aren't in there. I'm squeezing the bag closed as I'm going down, and I want to do this all the way till I get real close to the top of the box. Then I'm just going to gather it all up and tie just a loop overhand knot to seal it in. And I'm not worried about ventilating the box. I'm only 10 minutes from home, and I should have these into my hive in about 10-15 minutes. Here I'm gathering up some of the bees that are kind of docile since it is chilly, and just scraping them up, putting them into the top bar hive. This is the hive that I'm going to put this colony in.
That's it.
I'm going to have to be feeding these new bees for the colony to be able to draw out the comb. So I'm filling up some feeders that I have. I'm going to put 2 feeders in this hive, and I'm using a sugar water mix, sugar syrup of a 50% sugar, 50% water. I don't always wear my bee suit, but there are occasions where I know I'm going to have these bees stirred up and they're not going to be real happy. So if I can keep the suit on at this time, I think I can keep happy. Here I'm placing the feeders in both ends of the hive. I'm not making the entire hive available to the bees. I have a traveling block in there to keep them contained into a smaller portion of the hive. Here I'm opening the captured bees up. I'm going to shake the bees out of the plastic. There shouldn't be a lot on there, but you can see that they are getting stirred. And then the majority of the bees are in the box, and I'll just shake those into the hive, then button the hive up. I believe with this plastic chute that I used to capture the bees, I think I got the majority of all the bees. After I shook the bees off of that branch, there was hardly any bees around that were left flying like you would think there would be. I placed a top bar frame into this hive, into the brood chamber, hoping that they would lay brood to this. So I'm going to remove that frame that I have in there and place that into the newly established hive. And this would hopefully give them a head start on some of the brood in there. The bees really have this glued together tight with the propolis. I have to pry this lower section apart. It was a little tough. Here's the frame that I inserted, the top bar frame. I'm going to try to pull that out, and as I do, there is brood on it, but the brood was built on the outer edges of this frame, and I broke some of the brood cells off of the opposite side here. You can see where I'm brushing. This is the new brood cells, and just the opposite side is still inside the chamber of the beehive. I'll put this hive back together and then get back to my top bar hive. Here I'm removing the bar that I have. It was the keeper bar that holds this top bar frame into the other type of a hive. I need to insert the top bars so that the bees can start drawing out their comb. I would be inserting all of these bars, except I noticed that there's a large cluster of bees that have gathered on the lid of the hive. And if I had all the bars in there, when I would close the lid onto the hive, it would crush those bees. So I'm going to leave a gap open where those bees are clustered, and that will allow me some easier access into changing the sugar syrup that's in there in the feeders. I'm removing this small section of brood comb, and I'm just going to insert that into the bottom of the hive. This will give them a little bit of a start on some new bees. And then I'm going to insert the frame that I have here, and that will also give them a head start on their comb extraction. I had no sooner got to my home and I got a phone call from a neighbor saying that there is a swarm of bees on a tree in his pasture. So here I'm prepping my capture box with the PORTA CHUTE, and this is how I put the thing together. Taping the chute onto the box, and I'm going to make sure that I have this seal really good so bees aren't going to be escaping out of this area here. This first swarm capture that I just had completed took less than 30 minutes to capture the bees and to put them into my hive at my home. So total time, counting driving, was less than 1 hour for this one hive. I thought that was very efficient. What I'm doing next is I'm taking the top of this tube and I'm going to roll it all the way down to the box. I don't know what the situation is going to be when I get out into the pasture, and I may need to have a shorter length. If not, I'll just unroll the whole thing and use it that way. I'm going to take some tape and tape the edges, top edges of the flap of the box. I'm afraid that if I don't do that, bees may get wedged or caught between the lid and the plastic bag. I want the bees, when they're falling through this, to go all the way into the box. I probably could have cut these box tabs off, but I thought if I did need to transport them at a longer distance, I would want the cardboard lids instead of the plastic on the top.
Already. Okay, we're on.
You're worried about getting stung, but you don't have any socks on.
Oh, I don't care about the bee. Oh, yeah, this isn't hot. I might as well lock that off, huh?
Yeah. Hopefully they don't come down quick, huh?
Not on that one. You needed to trim this tree anyway.
No, I need to cut it down.
Okay, here's the... Is this already set? And I already put some anise oil in it.
Bigger?
Yeah.
Good.
So my whole truck smells like anise oil now. Should have brought a
You
shorter
want to
ladder.
start from the top and come down.
Yeah.
I'll try to hold your bag this way. Hopefully the bees don't attack me. They go in the anise.
You can get out of the way.
That would be good. Thank you.
Usually they're more concerned with finding a place and staying with that queen.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's going to work.
That won't work there. You don't
Just
have a
hot.
short, do you have a short ladder?
Uh-uh.
Maybe I could put it on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
that'll
move-
work.
Can you move my truck up maybe about a foot? I didn't leave the keys in.
I wasn't going to steal it.
Just maybe a foot or two. I got to get a little lean on that ladder so I don't fall off. Right there.
Good?
Yeah.
Put your key in the center. I think they're pretty... Sun hasn't hit them yet, so... doing it like you've done this all your life, Don.
I have.
Hi, Alice.
Talking to his horse.
Hi, Dad. There we go. Hi, boys and girls.
Still early in the morning and we're waking up all of his animals.
Go over there. You're gonna get stoned.
Squeezing the air out.
Pinching the top of this chute off has it inflated like a balloon, and I have to keep working my way down to the box, squeezing the air as it's going, trying not to trap bees in there as I'm doing it.
That's that, huh?
I borrowed 2 more feeders because I've used all mine up, and I'm going to insert these into the next top bar hive, same as I did with the first one. You can see now that the sun is finally up. Still pretty early in the morning, and total time for the capture of both of these hives and inserting them into the beehives is less than 2 hours. Again, with this capture, I believe I caught over 90% of all the bees that were on that tree. Right here I'm putting a little bit of anise oil into the hive.
Most of them are in the hive, and the ones that are out are going to find their way in because of the queens in there.
Thanks for watching, my friends. Bye-bye.